Kaiju sounds like a Street Fighter move, or maybe it means something. I had to look it up. In Japanese it means monster, or monster truck, and a bunch of other things, but it means a big ass truck, and we're here to test Redcat's new monster truck. So let's get to it. Try to keep it real here. So, Redcat Racing. In the past, I would have told you you're an idiot to buy one. Why? Mostly because it was just a very low-end product that hit a price point, had a bunch of features, but really, if you ask me, I would say, yeah, probably buy something else. That's all changed, and it's changed recently. They got an injection of fresh people, fresh ideas, and some of the stuff coming out of them now is downright good. And we're starting with the Kaiju. The Japanese monster, oh, very scary, or like Street Fighter or Hadouken or something like that. But we're here to test it. Goes up to 6S, craziness, in a big truck. Right here we're on 4S, but let's get to the chassis. The chassis, it's a big plastic tub, kind of combines everything in there. If you squint, it looks like another truck that we just tested. But overall, the quality of this, when you open it, is pretty damn good. Probably on the good side of everything. High quality looking plastics, the speed control and the motor are quality units. You get a good radio, you get big tires, you get metal axles. Overall, a pretty good Kaiju truck. And that's not just a good truck for Redcat Racing, it's a good truck overall. Big arms, big plastic, big wheels, we're into it. We love to bash, and when we bash things, we break it. So when we go out to test these things, and despite just the video clips you see, we actually run this more. It's not just 4 minutes of us running into stuff, but we're here to test it. The front arms, you get a couple adjustments, turnbuckles. The plastic looks a little thin in spots, so we're kind of hesitant on if it can really take a beating on 6S, because that's a lot of power to put through this truck. The rear arms on the bottom, you can see the hinge pins. We'd like to see a little more meat on the outside of those arms. This is a basher. The crap's gonna be beaten out of it in Kaiju monster style. So, maybe some upgrades later. RPM, hey, if you're listening, make some arms for this, beef them up on the bottom, because to be perfectly honest with you, we did break an arm and a servo horn in the first 4 minutes of running the truck. Now, we do run them a little rough, especially for videos. We try to get something dramatic, which usually ends in something breaking, but many of the trucks we've had haven't had that issue right off the start. But we put a new servo horn on, $7 for new arms, and we returned to running, and to be honest with you, we didn't break it again. So call it a fluke, call it hey, it broke, but it broke on the inside of the arm, not where we mentioned before where we thought it's too thin. If we look at the root of our servo horn strippage, it usually probably comes down to the servo saver tension. It's either too loose or too tight, and if it's too loose, the truck doesn't steer and you save your servo. If it's too tight, if you crash at 30 miles an hour, it's going to stress the servo horn. The little plastic splines don't last. So be sure to check your servo horn and your servo saver to see if it's set at the right tension. We're going to do a video on how to set that in the future. At the price point of this truck, which they list on their website as $400, it's a steal. It's full of details like front and rear LEDs that light up when you drive. You don't have to add them. Aluminum shocks with threaded collars. Plastic caps, though, you may want to change those. 6S ready. You can run it on 4S, probably 3S as well. But overall, even the wheels have Redcat Racing stamped on them. The rubber's soft. Pretty good truck. You get Hobby Wing electronics, which is now a premium feature. Used to be not, but now you're getting a quality system. The pinion gears looks like maybe like a 10 tooth, really small, but that's because they're expecting you to put 6S in this car. The big thing about the 6S that we found is that the battery compartment doesn't take two thicker 3S packs, so you have to figure out how to get in there. The wheelie bar, and here's what I like: 4-position, big rubber wheels, bearings on the inside, and it's set up high. Some of the monster trucks that you get have it low, and when you're bashing, it's always hitting the back of the truck. It's really stressing the chassis out and ready to break it more than it should. So if you're going to pop a rad wheelie, you got it way up in the air and you're just going to, ride the rear wheels and hit a curb somewhere probably. We started photos and video at Joe's backyard track called The Farm in Yucaipa. It's invite only, so you can try to get in there, maybe you can't. But we just do some handling tests and feel how natural it feels. So jumping was pretty decent. The speed control reacted pretty well. It's sensorless, so it's never going to be perfect, but not abrupt enough to really make it hard to drive. Steering, a little bit of push and turn-in problems, but it's a truck, big wheels. It's not really made to go on the track, but on power, it really dug in and kind of rotated on power more than off, a little push off power. What we really had fun doing, and most people are going to do this. We just went to an empty lot and we found a puddle. Like a kid, we just stomped through it for a full pack. I even had another truck in there just for comparison and some fun video. But really, there's nothing more fun than just hydroplaning through a big puddle and seeing this truck rip wheelies, throw water in the air, drive through it, and not give a flying F. A side note is, this truck still has the broken arm on it when we were doing the video because we didn't have that $7 arm at the time of testing. So really, we just snapped it back on the hinge pin and kept beating the piss out of this thing. And you know what? To be honest, it kept going. And even with that broken arm, we had to pop it in every once in a while. Dogbone never popped out again, so, I mean, take it for what it is. The full review of this is in issue 39, Velocity RC Cars Magazine. Check it out, subscribe, hook it up. It's only $9 a year. You get 37 back issues. Christ, it's so cheap. I mean, I don't even have enough to cut my hair or buy a beer anymore. Help it out. But just subscribe or hit that stupid bell. Everybody doesn't hit the bell. Do I have to say it? Hit the bell. So let's go. And here's the little extra action with its competitor. Shh. We test with other things too. See you later. Hey, you made it this far, and you might be wondering, did I just go deaf? What happened is we got another new GoPro. This is the Hero 8 or Black Edition or whatever, and for some reason, she didn't record any sound until I got home and figured out it needed to be updated, so enjoy the silence.